Okay. Starting the stream a little bit early. Are we, Aaron? Okay. Guess that's what we're doing today. Sorry for being a little bit early. My apologies. I am still working out how to do this. There's a lot of layers going on. I'm using like a backdoor app called Streamlabs that like fakes being desktop. Hello, Janice. Welcome, my darling. I'm just going to do a sound test real quick. I would class that as loud and clear. Let's just let some more babes trickle on in. I did not. Let's just change that. It's all very strange, this how do I get rid? Yep. I don't want that for now because I've got the chat on the screen. I just want to see my face. I hate that the fucking like the tag is in there. Just comes up with it. It makes me very uncomfortable. But I'm glad you think so, Janice. I really am. Just going to... Will it stop the stream if I go off of the app? Nope. Fab. Just going to quickly post the link to the stream. Oh, cute, Aaron. Super cute. Now live. Sorry, Janice, I know you're literally just watching me do like fucking typing out text and like fuck around. Oh, I didn't realise that the feed went. That's so annoying. For a second there, it was like holding on fine as long as I like kept the app running, which I am. Sorry, I'm gonna have to do it one more time just so I can post the link to my bloody Instagram subscription. That's not words. So I can post a link to my Instagram description, even, because that's the video of Kaylee Ellen I was watching. Share link. Post. Okay. Sorry that my huge thumb is just in front of the camera. I do apologise. I really jumped the gun a little bit on here. Just going to go to my Instagram again quickly. And nope, down. Can you go down? Down. Oh, my camera's all fucky. Edit. Oh my god, this is so fucking finicky. Paste. Next. down, save. How are we doing, my darlings? Where has my glass gone? Because I've got lemonade. Fantastic, Bill. I'm very glad to hear that. What are you drinking this evening? Two seconds. Just grabbing some essential supplies for the stream. Some lemonade. Okay, 2 seconds. Grab a mug. And I'm back, my lovelies, I'm back. And we are just reaching that good 8 PM start. Going to pour a lemonade. Janice, you're working in teleworking? Oh, you're working from home? I think probably a lot more relaxed though than anything else. Oh, hold on. Need to turn my phone on silent so the camera doesn't keep buzzing. Okay. We are going to talk about some things that have happened over the past few weeks. You may or may not have noticed that I've been a little bit quiet on YouTube, and on Instagram. Actually, I think I've only posted like twice in the past 2 weeks, and there are a few reasons for that, unfortunately. I was going to wait until Matt popped in. Oh, Queen P. Welcome, my darling. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We were just about to discuss the happenings of the past couple of weeks. I was going to briefly mention one of the reasons why I've been a bit quiet, and then some other reasons, and hopefully you'll start to paint a little bit of a picture. How are we feeling? How are we feeling? I know Pam is digging holes. Hello, Nicole. Hello, darling. Oh, how delightful. Well, it's as good a time as any to start talking about what was crack-a-lacking these past few weeks. Welcome, Elle. Welcome, my darling. Stoic booty. My voice is one of the reasons why I struggle to edit. I love to play that shit down hard. So, let's get into the meat and the bones of what's been crack-a-lacking, of why Senior Big Queer has been departed for 2 weeks. Unsurprisingly, as like most people in the mid-20s, your boy's got depression. It's a wonderful disease that affects literally billions of people. And in that sort of sphere, people who suffer from it react a bit differently to things. Now, if you were angry at something, or if you were stressed out by something, you may be energized by it. You may be kind of alerted by it. Not so much all the time when you are a depresso, when you're a depresso boy. It tends to just kind of drain you and leave you a bit kind of, looking for the word, lacking of motivation, leaves you a bit lethargic. So, something kind of happened. Welcome, Marina, my darling. Welcome, my darling. Something kind of happened like 2 weeks ago. Or well, let's start a little bit earlier on. It's about 3.5 weeks ago. I got invited to be part of this lovely little collaboration on Instagram for some IG plant gays. I think they'll call them plant daddies, but it was plant gays. We had gender non-conforming folks involved as well. We had Ms. Lady, the plant lady, a fantastic plant lady drag queen, which if you have not checked her out, her channel, she's got a YouTube channel and an Instagram channel, and it's primo shit. So we were thrown into a kind of the outcome was fantastic. The outcome I was really happy with. Do really wish that I had put the bugs on my face like I planned to, but we were working on a really tight schedule to get the edits in to Neil before he put them out, and my leaf insects were not having it that day. So there were people or person involved in that collaboration, which made it more difficult and more enjoyable than it should have been. They said some very problematic things, a lot of racially insensitive things, and made people feel so uncomfortable that they literally left the group chat. Now, if you know me a little bit, you know that when I see that kind of stuff, I don't stay quiet. I don't stay quiet. Oh, don't worry. I gave them what for. I definitely made sure that in that moment, my voice was being heard, and I definitely made sure that they knew that what they were doing was wrong. First, politely, because I'm not, unless you're an actual Nazi, I'm not going to come in guns a-blazing, you know? I'm not going to come in saying, like, no, fuck you. Like, I'll come in with the polite, like, you see, I don't think that's quite okay, and here's kind of politely why you might be wrong, kind of thing. You'd be surprised how often it actually is, Nicole, how often it actually is nowadays, an actual Nazi, so you never quite know. Which I don't think this guy was. I think he was just a bit, I would describe him as just incredibly arrogant, and not aware of kind of how I don't think he's aware how he was presenting himself to the people who were working with him. And it was unfortunate. Yeah. So we had some conversations, which quickly turned into arguments because, let's be real, folks, if you're gonna kick it up a notch, I'm the kind of boy to meet you there and say, well, if you're gonna be an arsehole, I'm gonna be an arsehole as well and say the exact same thing, and here's why. And he just got worse and worse as the project kind of went on. He would say very inappropriate things in the chat. He would say inappropriate things to me specifically. He would talk on subjects that he was vastly not keep clued into about. And it was kind of like, you really need to stop. But essentially, like, people started kind of leaving the chat more and more. I left. I've not spoken there for a long time. This guy is a non-issue, but this is just part of the story of what's happened, kind of thing. But that was about 2-ish weeks ago. And I'm not going to lie to you, it kind of like, it drained me creatively a little bit. Like, hi, Adam. Adam is very well aware of what I'm talking about. But yes, so it kind of drained me a little bit, because up until that point, I really hadn't dealt with anyone particularly nasty in the plant community. I know Instagram's a whole of a ball game, and those who are in the know, Instagram gays are like notorious for the kind of cliquey, weird, pseudo cheerleader-esque populist attitude to life. And that's fine. You do you. Just really, please don't bring it up in here. Don't bring it here. Don't bring it here, baby. All the way back. Step it all the way back. And he just was not game for that. So folks left, the chat died down, thankfully. I'm so happy that I never have to see that face ever again or talk to that person ever again. And I know that there are a few other people who feel the same way. But what really, really kind of upset me a little bit was that was my first Instagram collaboration. Now, Instagram is kind of where I started my plant journey. I'm not going to be too sentimental because it sounds a bit like faux pas and shitty. But, oh, thank you, Nicole. I actually got it delivered yesterday from ASOS. It's also the only thing I'm wearing because it's too hot to wear just a t-shirt, and this is really, really like holy and like flowy, and there's lots of air going in, so it's really pleasant. But yeah, it was uncomfortable to deal with that kind of person, and not just have to deal with them. Hey, Moose. Hello, Moose. Not just have to deal with them, but having to work with them on something, having to converse with them specifically in that sense was very uncomfortable, and it just did not work out very well. So it left me with a bit of a blindsided. I suddenly lacked motivation to film, to do much, to really involve myself with social media like I had been. Oh, Moose, I am doing very well. Thank you very much. You cutie. Yeah, it definitely took it was part of a few other things, but I will say that it was a very big, like, it was a very big thing to not be able to just walk away from that person and be like, done, okay, cool, whatever, bye, I don't have to deal with your shit. Because we kind of had to deal with his shit whilst the collaboration was ongoing, which kind of added to the resulting lethargy from it. But it's whatever. You know, you're on the internet, you're gonna find assholes. That's just the way of the world currently, unfortunately. And if anything, I wanted it to be a bit of a story and a bit of a warning to make sure that if you are doing collaborations who are not with close friends, please, before you agree to join, just say, like, oh, can I, like, check out who else is involved quickly? Like, it's not a bad thing to do, because, you know, it could be, like, plant guy, Tory, plant guy, and you're thinking, I maybe don't want to be locked into a project with someone like that. This isn't school. You don't have to sit there and do a group project with your bully. Like, that's not... You don't need that kind of energy, you know? Yeah, well, they were. It got worse towards the end, because he started saying things specifically to try and get me to argue with him. And he was saying some really unfortunate racial slurs. Things got very bad towards the end, but it was rather obvious that he was just doing it to get a rise out of me. And I just, at that point, I kind of checked out, and I was doing other stuff, talking to folks. And also, on the flip side, may I add, the silver lining to this experience, I got to bring my buddy Alex in and really elevate his platform a bit with the collaboration, because he got a bunch of new followers and a bunch of new people to talk to and kind of be welcomed into the plant community. He is kind of the only person I really know about doing it in Las Vegas right now. So he's got his own set of kind of challenges growing plants out there. And I just kind of, like, I was really happy to bring him in. And I was happy that I met a few new folks to hang out with on Instagram and stuff and talk to. Overall, it was a very neutral experience, because though there was one particular douche noggin, there were a bunch of really nice people who I got to talk to and spend time with. And that's fine. That's whatever, you know? That's the way of the world. Also, my mug says, I know the meaning of life. It doesn't help me a bit. Specifically to sip tea out of. So, another thing that has kept me kind of pulled back for a while is I've been planning out a new YouTube series. And this is kind of becoming a bit my baby. I'm getting really, really, really excited about it. I'm getting really, really hyped to I'm kind of experimenting up in my production value a little bit. In the wise words of today's fantastic, speaking of collaborations, the fantastic one today of the YouTubers and, oh god, why have I forgotten the name of the radio? I literally watched the video less than 25 minutes ago. How have I forgotten the name of Bloom and Grow Radio? Literally watched 25 minutes ago, but forgot that, went straight out of my bloody head. I think it was a beautiful video. It was really, really pleasant to watch. A bunch of fantastic human beings, some of which are here right now, were in it, and they fucking killed it. You guys really, really killed it. I kind of vibing with Adam's recommendation to improve my setup a little bit. He scolded me when I told him that my camera's SD card is kind of chocked full of photos that I can't delete. So I kind of have to film like 26 minutes at a time. But I've ordered a new SD card and stuff. I've ordered another tripod, another ring light. Trying to really improve the lighting situation as much as possible. But I really loved the... Welcome, Cody! Welcome, my darling. I really, really loved the... I really loved the essence of the video. The fact that it was all about getting people involved in the plant world, in the plant community, getting people kind of situated with some words of wisdom, some words of advice. Oh, you better believe. Oh, right. So I'm currently on the first successful no plant buy that I've probably ever been on. So I know we don't believe in those here, but it's kind of a half and half. I am not on a no bug buy because I bought some new bugs this month. But I am on a partial no plant buy because I'm gonna be trying my hand at a little Thailand order next month. And we shall see how that goes. And as Adam's here, I'm not going to whip out any of the snakes to make him feel uncomfortable, because I know that he's got a little bit of a minor abrasion to the sort of snakes, which is okay. But they are cute though. Just we stand them. We do stand them. But how has everyone's month been in comparison to... How has everyone's month been, though, in comparison to that whole fun situation of things? No! Why have I started a snake phobia conversation? Why did I do that? Because it makes me sad, because I completely respect and understand, I really do, because I've had like so many friends who, when they first meet me, obviously don't really know that I have like a menagerie. And then like it's usually within a few months they find out, they get scared, they sort of slowly edge their way into my room, into my existence. And it really is a matter of normalizing. It really is a matter of normalizing their presence a little bit, even in a contained space, in a controlled manner, because that's what really did it for a lot of people. I've had more than a few friends who had severe arachnophobia, severe phobias of snakes. One girl who had a really severe phobia of frogs, which to this day I'm not really sure where that came from. Couldn't imagine like a terrifying frog. I think they're just a bit too cute for that. But that's me. I do also think tarantulas are cute, which I know is probably a bit more of an unprecedented opinion. Yeah, no, I'm not the biggest fan of humans most of the time. I mean, outside of the plant community, because very few if you watched E.T. frogs are terrifying. Oh, it has been, my god, it has been a very long time since I've watched E.T. Actually, funnily enough, speaking of phobias, had a friend who had an irrational phobia of E.T., like the character of the alien. Like, could not look at photos. I think it was at uni, and I think one person may or may not have tried to, like, plan. It was horrible. I think someone was trying to plan to get, like, a cutout of E.T. and order the doll of E.T., and it was just, it was really bad. The poor bastard, he just got, like, he got absolutely rinsed for it. Consistent links sent over. Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of happy the roach survived because neotropical cockroaches are a lot cleaner and prettier than our run-of-the-mill kind of. Oh, Janice, I've got to say, as someone who's done his fair show, his little research trip in Brazil, you are fighting a losing battle. Bringing bug spray into a climate like that, you are really fighting a losing battle. You can usually just use citronella to keep bugs away from you. It might dry out your skin a little bit, but it's nowhere near as bad for your skin as those spray-on pesticides. Don't use those. Very bad for you and your lungs. So, time for the nitty-gritty. I would like you all to tell me how your month has been. One good thing, one bad thing. Hit me. I'm not going to presume that you've had a good thing per day and a bad thing per day, because we live in strange times. So, one good thing, one bad thing of the past month that you can isolate and something you can work through. The balance. My sister is scared of the X-Files theme tune. Genuinely, actually scared. Which is hilarious because I watched the same thing growing up. Oh, Cody, I actually have a question for you. It stems from a video of Adam's. I have a bad breakout of fungus gnats in my paludarium, which is Neocaridina in the aquarium. Ah, so. I saw your stickers. I did see the stickers. I did indeed see those bad boy stickers. And they were freaking adorable. Very pleased. Very pleased. Cody, your question on how to deal with fungus gnats in a closed environment like that. Unfortunately. Right, so yeah, nematodes are probably not the best idea to go for. I was going to say you're going to have to go with a biological control. One good thing, much more family time, more birthday, no work. It's too shall pass. Oh, it was lovely. Thank you for popping in, Nicole, my darling. Have a lovely time. And also, I'm very glad that you had extra family time. But I know that the photographer market is not great right now, so I do hope things get better for you. But yeah, you're going to have to, Cody, you're going to have to do some biological control. As you have shrimp in a high humidity closed setting, you could try sundews, you could try maybe some tropical pitcher plants. You can do a whole bunch of things, actually. I wouldn't go down... I wonder if mosquito bits would work. Because mosquito bits, I believe... you can absolutely get mosquito bits. Get anything with the Firmus occurrensis, the bacteria that affects mosquito. Welcome, Casey, darling. We're spilling tea, drinking tea, having a lovely time. Yeah, so literally, use the mosquito bits. They will not harm your shrimp. And I know this for a fact because Rachel O'Leary, on her channel, she specialises in dwarf aquarium species. Usually fish, but she's got like lines of shrimp that are decades old. And she does something called summer tubbing, where she puts a bunch of species outside for the summer in these huge like Rubbermaid tubs and lets them just go mad and breed in the natural sunlight waters of plants growing around them and stuff. And she uses mosquito bits in her shrimp bins to stop mosquito larvae from forming. And also in her fish bins, because her fish are so small, the ones that she breeds, that they can't even eat the mosquito larvae, unfortunately. You're going to want to avoid at all costs chitin inhibitors. Don't touch those at all. Completely avoid those, as they will kill the shrimp extremely fast. But yeah, no, just use mosquito bits. Maybe try sprinkling some into the wet substrate and into the water, so it's kind of present throughout the entire system. Welcome, Rhea. Rhea or Rhea? Or Ray? Rhea? I want to get this right because I hate getting names wrong. I'm doing okay. It's actually, I'm wearing just a jumper and it's really flowy and like airy, and it's also really comfortable, so I'm okay. It's also not that bad. I'm in Manchester, so it's not too hot here. It's definitely hotter down south. Down south it is, and my dad texted me, and bearing in mind he's Cypriot, and he was like, it's very strange here, the weather here. He said like the weather is heavier here because he can deal with 40 degrees Celsius in Cyprus, but can't deal with 23 degrees Celsius in England. And I said it's probably just because of the humidity and like living in near the city and stuff. But yeah, he describes it as heavy weather, which is peculiar. What is right? What is wrong? Oh, Cody. I've been watching her at the beginning. She's amazing. I'm so happy she's in the plant one. Yeah, I saw her. The Plant Addict, isn't it? On her new YouTube side channel. I adore her very true to form, like steampunk, mechanical. My tones are not. They're not nice. My tones are fucky most of the time. Her steampunk aesthetic is incredible. Her husband builds her some of the most incredible pieces of furniture. Like when he built the plant, originally it was just a fish stand for her living room, but he's like a welder, and he did like they actually did like a whole like building a stand at home. Rhea. That is fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Oh god. Okay, one good thing. One thing, not just love plants, bad thing, I still... Why not, Cody? I mean, probably something to do with the fascist that's inside of the White House right now. But what else is new? What is that noise? Wood pyrethrum spray. I'm not familiar with that spray. What are the active ingredients? L. Ah, so that's like here in the UK too. That's like when we get furlough. No, it's like I know it might have sounded like that, but it literally came from the bathroom through the wall. So someone must have a jackhammer in there for it to be so intense. You know, I'm not afraid of a gutter mind comment on this channel. Never. As I was saying, sorry, just remembered I was still talking about Rachel's aesthetic. Her husband built her these incredible, huge, steampunk, old pipe and thick wood and iron cast structures as furniture, and they're beautiful and incredible. And they did like a whole video series on welding your own fish tank stands, because he built her whole fish room stands like all down there, and it's incredible. And if you haven't seen her channel, I heavily recommend you go and check out Rachel's channel. She's not only has she metaphorically written the book on like nano aquarium species, but she's also literally written the books on nano aquarium species, and is kind enough to have a platform where she interacts with the people who want to talk to her the most, and it's fantastic. And as far as relaxing footage goes, it doesn't get much better. Pardon me. It doesn't get much better than her sitting in the fish room with the macro lens pointed at one of her tanks and slowly putting peaceful music over nano species of fish, just having a good time and interacting. She also talks a lot about different kind of biotropes and stuff for fish, active ingredients. I wouldn't use harsh chemicals in an enclosed environment like that, Elle. If the terrarium is closed, I really wouldn't introduce such intense chemicals and close it off for good, because the neem oil works, but it's in the air, so it kind of evaporates. Same with isopropyl, when you're spraying down for pests, it will get rid of the pests and then it will evaporate. If it's locked in there, it could potentially cause some very dire things to happen. literally, it's so incredible. She's got this like rotating lounge chair down there, and she says that like most of the time she just sits back in it and just sort of spins to like, after she's doing work, after she's doing things down there and fiddling with tanks, she has like the best time just chilling. It's incredible. It's so incredible. And she also has a scape called a pengyang, which is like a moistened rock system outside of a smaller fin-rimmed aquarium. Her channel was literally called Rachel O'Leary. Our resident Rachel is getting there, because don't forget Casey is flinging fish tanks and aquaponics at her faster than she can dodge them. Channel up, like Cody said, Rachel O'Leary. She also has a plant channel. You'll be so blown away by the stuff she has. Even in her garden, she has a carnivorous plant bog garden made out of a giant granite sink from like the 40s or the 50s. It was like a communal. Oh, she's so sick. She's so cool. She's covered in tattoos. Her wrists say fish pimp, and she's the coolest person and also the nicest person. So cool. And I think she's actually, it's a really good time to subscribe to her because she's just starting year 4 or 5 on YouTube of doing summer tubbing, where she'll show you start to finish how to set up tubs for aquatic plants and for tropical fish in your garden, in greenhouses, how to breed shrimp outdoors, and it's just incredible. It's so incredible. I'm not surprised, Janice. She's prolific. She should have so much more support than she does, and it's borderline criminal how little, like, compared to other people in the fish community on YouTube, FishTube. It's criminal that she is not so much higher. But yeah, her Pengyang scape has this giant hybridized rock that was hand carved for her with like a pump going through it, and she has bonsai ficuses. I forget the species, potentially microcarpa or some form of microcarpa on top with mosses growing, and then it seeps down into this tiny shallow aquarium that it essentially sits in, and she has Thai micro crabs and I think blue dream shrimp living in there with some sawasa tang and java moss, and it's so incredible. This is in her basement, and it's only growing under this full spectrum LED light. It's incredible. Yeah, she did. She did one for patio sized, like medium large. She literally went through she's friends with Tanner at Serpa Design. He and her have as folks probably know, Tanner isn't really into collaborations. He's a bit like, I think he's probably one of those people who's very wants to be in full control of his content, which is absolutely fine. Trust me, after this month, I can understand why. And he and Rachel have had a few little meeting points here and there, and he's the person who gave her the jewel orchids for her Biorb Air terrarium in her front room, and it's again beautifully scaped. What did I just see? What did I just miss? I missed something. Casey calling Rachel a babe. Very true. Both Rachels are babes. Let's not get it twisted. Both Rachels are babes. No matter what you look at it. 9 points. Yep. Fabulous. Yeah, Janice, I also recommend subscribing to Ants Canada as well. It's very intriguing. All Rachels are babes. This is true. Every Rachel I've met has been fantastic. One of my older friends, her name's Rachel Yell. She's fan-bloody-tastic. Her and her brothers, lovely human beings. I mean, Rachel Maddow. But we won't talk about that right now. Oh my god, I know. Ants Canada. I remember going to uni and my first year, and being a bit scared for people to know that I was into bugs as much as I am. Oh, okay, Moose. Rude. We're talking about all kinds of shit, to be honest. But Ants Canada, I'm talking about uni, actually. Speaking of uni, this motherfucker here, I met him at uni, and he's great. A-class human being. And he's going to know who I'm talking about right now. I hope, if he remembers the person. But I was kind of a bit wary of, in my first year and second year particularly, of talking to folks about bugs and stuff. And then I mentioned that I was watching an Ants Canada video, and a person who I was already friends with kind of briefly was like, oh, I watch him too. I really love ants. I've got like 5 different colonies starting in test tube in my bedroom, and it was Steve, not shithead Steve, cool comrade Steve. What did you get from Rachel, Cody? Tell a boy. Spill the tea. Just making sure that I didn't miss anyone. Good. I mean, with the amount of Steves out there, you're about to send Rachel a package. Is this the package that we discussed briefly whilst chatting, Pamela? You do, Moose, you do. It's Comrade Steve. He was friends with Abby and Jesse. I know what this package is. Oh no, not Tory Steve. No, fuck Tory Steve. Fuck that noise. Campo beefsteak. Beefsteak? Variegated African violet and a fuzzy purple thing that I'm not sure of. Oh, was that cutting from her it's a really cool plant. She got it as a gift. Well, she got a few of them as gifts. Disco Steve. Oh, fun fact about Tory Steve, Moose. He had a wanting to be a pirate and wanted to turn his room into a beach. This is what happens in the middle classes. They think they can just turn like a rented room into a beach party all the time. And I was like, maybe not. Probably a good idea. Oh god, I was also talking about the briefly about the new series I'm starting. This is my issue. Like, I'm scatterbrained as it is, but when I'm talking, so many iterations of Steves, I end up getting sidetracked, and then I go on huge, just monolithic sidebars that just never end. I am starting a new series on YouTube, and I'm hoping to get the first episode out. What day is it today? Tuesday. I'm hoping to get the first episode out this week. I do hope that you'll come and give it a little cheeky watch. It's going to be very different to my usual content. Obviously, still completely plants all over the place. I'm also going to be filming the rest of my invertebrate tour, but I wanted to wait until the new bugs arrived this week. Pardon me. So I could do a double kind of unboxing new bugs and also my tour, like two birds one stone kind of situation. Oh no, Steve! We're not talking about Steve's leaves. We don't shade Steve's leaves. We stan Steve's leaves because if there was a way that I could get them to send me a Cicicedenopoda, I would do a lot for that plant. I really would. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with it, but I mean I do know because Pam posts it on her Instagram, and then my heart just leaves my body for a while whilst I think about it. And it just makes me sad because no one has it in Europe, and if they do, they're keeping it incredibly well hidden. But I was maybe one day, Steve will open up a international package for Sisters of Denopoda, and I can grow some here in the UK. That'd be fantastic. I even went as far as to put my name down on a giant seed bank website, in case the gods align and someone has seeds from it in Europe and they're willing to, sell them. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I gave fair warning, and I think I'm going to have to keep a nice clear divide between my bug videos and my plant videos, because I don't want folks who are scared of bugs being deterred from a plant video, because, like, I understand it. God, I'm gonna sound like a homophobic mum right now. I understand it, so I want to make sure that I'm making allowances for it. Have you tried dating a bug that's meant for you? Have you found the right bug? I've been watching a lot of BreadTube, a lot of video essays. Oh, Cody, no! Scorpions are sick, they really are. But tarantulas are the one. They're so sweet, it's so lovely, they're so much fun to keep, so much fun to keep and enjoy. But the new series will be I hope it will be a bit more kind of focused than my other kind of stuff, because most of my stuff tends to be a bit more kind of sit with me in a kind of impersonal way that's chill, and talk about some cool plants. Maybe I'll spit some tips and tricks for folks growing in the northern hemisphere like myself, about how to live life under a grow light. But the jewel cockroaches, or do you mean the leaf insects? The leaf insects are literally my two worlds meeting, my plant world and my bug world meeting and becoming one. Literally. Are you sure your arachnophobia is just not a phase? Yeah, they're doing really well. I'm still desperately trying to get them to breed. They're a difficult little bunch, but I'm excited to even have the opportunity to do it. So, yeah, Janice, that's how all of my friends who've come to me with fears kind of get over them in that sense. Moose has a little bit of a uncomfortability. I wouldn't say a fear around snakes, though he did once do a Macarena dodge of my snake's head just as she was moving next to him. So take from that what you will. But he hasn't got a problem with them being in the room and out and stuff. I think he doesn't want to touch them. Oh, okay. I was really trying to save your masculinity there, Moose. But no, it's a fit. I mean, you need more exposure to them. Out of strike range. God, they're not coming for you. That's a weird comparison. I would say just get them anyway into the Beatles. Like, oh no, I got it wrong. Gotta keep them now. Whoops. See, I've got so many great examples for kind of every breadth and width. Oh, Adam, you're such a little... You're gonna make me fucking cry. That was so cute. It was not a creeper thing to say. Oh, my laugh gets proper grim. If I'm really going in on something, I just cackle like a really butch yet feminine witch. Shut up, Casey. Stop it. Stop it. But yet feminine witch. I mean, my drag name, it's still up in the air. Currently, we're working with Vera Cumquick. I think. Oh wait, no, Vera Kumquat. The pun is supposed to be come quick. I just immediately went up straight up with Vera Kumquat. That Vera Kumquat was the planty pun drag name. Oh my god, there are 1,000,001 filthy, filthy Latin names. Maculata mistakes. Like that a lot. You can also go down. I mean, Adam, don't you literally have a Hoya David Comingiana? It has cum and minge in the name. Was it Comingii? Either way. Don't you? Oh, am I thinking of right, I am not a Hoya person. I've got my one Hoya australis that, oh, there it is, that just trails down, just, that kind of just trails all the way down, sort of skeeps over. But isn't there Batonii? I'm thinking of the Batonii because there's like 3 iterations, and they always. I thought Hoya was an anime for a second. I mean, to be fair, one thing I really love about Studio Ghibli is that whenever I am watching anything that has like a garden or a greenhouse, they put so much time and effort into putting actual species of plants into their art. I find... Oh, no, Suriname toads are really lovely, though. I've kept them. They're really lovely. They like to eat worms, and they kind of do this. They kind of just shove all the worm into their face hole. It's so cute and stupid. I mean, they do literally give birth. Is it trypanophobia? Is the fear of like holes and stuff? Yeah, they do give birth through a bunch of holes in their back, which, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and say it's the most like normal way for an amphibian to give birth, but I think it's also a testament to their parenthood and their maternal instincts. So, you know, take from that what you will, but that is where I stand on the matter. Katie with Lacucci. With Lacucci? Just saw it on Disney Channel as a kid. So weird. They are actually... Yeah, see, I think so too. And I've really not got a problem with holes. I love beehives. I think they're beautiful. I love making insect hotels, where you just cut up pieces of hollow bamboo and put them all together to create like a weird like block of holes for carpenter bees and ladybugs, and you leave it as a place for like bugs to rest. I think Emily, over on her Emily Waylard on her channel, she just got her carpenter bee hotel house, and they were like. Okay, let's talk pollinators instead, because she's doing some really amazing work for her local pollinators. Begonia with Lacucci. Begonia with Lacucci. Well, if it pleases you to know, they have very, very limited nerve endings in the area of their back. So they don't really feel it per se. It would probably just feel like a little bit like pressure, I guess. Kind of as if someone was pinching you or touching you on the surface of your skin. Coochie-coo! Coochie-coo! Having a good time with that one. Is it Charo who says that? Is it Charo? The Coochie-coo! Coochie-coochie-coo! Fucking weird. Sorry, listen to my voice like going through puberty, trying to say that in her like her pitch. Not good times. No, she's not a ghost. They've got eyes like they've got bilateral eyes. Coochie coochie. Yeah. Who says coochie coo? Who is that? It's like a anyway. No, because they've got eyes on the top of their head so they can see the babies to make sure they're okay. And also to stop them from like, you know, eating them thinking they're food. Because we don't want that. Speaking of baby frogs, my baby Pac-Mans are putting on the size. My little albino had a real hard time getting him to eat properly, which seemed to be kind of a theme with all the albinos from that person. I got them from that person, I kind of moved them on. The albinos seem to have a really big issue with eating, whereas the normals and the green varieties are really like ravenous. But comfortable to say the baby albino is now eating very, very well. And oh my god, can I just show you? Can I just show you the newest leaf on my melanochrysum? Because can you see how silky that is? So proud of my baby. You're doing great, sweetie. Yeah, she's having a good time. I want to try and harden her off for open air living, only because she's now reached the top of a second terrarium, and I'm struggling to find somewhere that she is going to be able to sit in. And she's already putting out another leaf. That's good times. I like that. Considering that this was her first leaf that she came with, and she came as a tip cutting with an unfurling leaf with no roots, and she still managed to put that leaf out, which was already bigger. And then she just wouldn't stop. And now she's just getting beastly. I think we all want a Milano that is mature, and we don't want to pay the insane prices for them or risk importing something as big and fantabulous and phantasmagorical as that, the size of those leaves. But it is possible to do it indoors. It's your local plant boy. The guys who run Arian Botanicals in Portland they started very similarly with a cutting in their flat, and their Milano is currently climbing their wall, and if only like a foot has gone from the kind of normal leaves that we get usually to the lengthy, mature form, crazy leaves that we all desperately want. And that'd be sick. I'm not asking for much. I'm not asking for the 3 foot long, like, NSE Tropicals leaves, okay? Like, I'm just asking for a decent sized leaf that I can go, I fucking love this plant because of how polymorphic it is. And look how beautiful this example of a smaller adult leaf is, you know? I'm not Craig Milron. I can't afford fucking giant stem cuttings from a 50-year-old Philodendron melanochryzum in a pot, you know? I ain't that bitch. Yeah, she's been living in a terrarium since I got her. But I've been spending more and more time with her outside, kind of getting used to my room humidity, which stays fairly high, particularly now. It's, where's my thermometer? It's currently 75 in here right now, and it gets a bit higher at night. Oh, thank you, Pam. Isn't she darling? Pam almost got a Milano at low G's, but it had some little friends. She just wasn't game to bring home with it, which is a shame, because to my knowledge, and also, by the way, that's no shade to low G's. I fucking love low G's, and if I could, I would be there in an absolute heartbeat. But even the owner, whilst watching Summer's video, said himself that, you know, any greenhouse has a pest problem. Every single one does. And it's just a matter about bringing in more and more integrated pest management to combat it. And Logis does that en masse. But, you know, you can't catch them all. He even said that they also, as well as bringing in integrated pest management, treat their plants as well, because they have a lot of like citrons and stuff, a lot of different fruiting plants, and obviously mealies and whitefly fucking adore that kind of stuff. No, they're absolutely not. And also, even me, I keep finding scale. It came on one plant from Germany, that is now actually, ironically, totally free of scale and has been for a long time. But I have found it on my Pileia peperomoides. I found it on my Peperomia. Why have I forgotten your name? Peperomia quadrangularis. I found some scale on my Tradescantia purpurea, which was not the one. And it seems like, much like mealybugs, once you kind of get them, if you have a big collection, it's going to be about managing the population, kind of as it waxes and weans around, you know? Or is it waxes and wanes? What is the saying? Oh, bloody know. As it ebbs and flows. Now I bring in ladybugs twice a year to my room. In the UK, we can get them really, really cheap. I know in the US, you have to get cystos or psychos, the mealybug destroyers, which can be expensive. But luckily, we have native ladybirds here, which are fantastic at hunting down mealybugs, both in an agricultural outside setting and an agricultural inside setting. And they even do like tailored amounts, so you can buy 10, 15, 20, and then if you're like an agricultural person, you can buy like 100,000, 10,000, whatever. So I usually get 20 because it's about like £9.50. It's super cheap, and I just release them indoors. I make sure to keep the window closed for a couple days at least, no matter how hot my room gets. And they go to work, and I'll see I won't see a mealy for ages, but they only do so much. They can't get them all. You know, you're always gonna be fighting a few of them off, unfortunately. And the likelihood is, same thing with spider mites. You just want to keep washing your plants, and the population will stay tiny. And as long as you provide really good conditions, your plants really won't be too affected by them. Which is actually the same as scale. It didn't do too much damage, even to the plant that was infested. I think it caused the oldest leaf to fall and die off, because the oldest leaf fell during transit, and then it had like a, when you're propagating a cutting, that first leaf comes out is always kind of shitty and small. So it caused that original shitty small leaf to fall off, but it hasn't affected any of the big, beautiful leaves. And I'll actually show you. This is that really, really peculiar philodendron. Again, still no ID on it, but it's putting out no new leaf. This was the plant that brought scale into my life and caused me some problems, but I love it nonetheless, and I am always, I think pretty much daily at this point, checking where I know the scale likes to hang out on the leaves and making sure that they aren't around. I actually sent Becca some photos and videos that I took way back when this thing was infested, to be able to kind of give an example of scale. But yeah, this plant is really, really cool. And what's causing the issues with the ID is that when I first saw it, I thought Holtiatum. And then I saw the undersides, which I've mentioned a few times, because they are red. It has a red subhustatum-esque underside to the leaves. And that has caused some real tricky conversations. I even posted it to the International Aeroid Society. I spoke to Enid and sort of asked her, like, have you come across this weird philodendron out of Peru, because that's where it was listed as coming from. It was literally sold as philodendron species Peru, nothing else. The other one, the philodendron species Guyana, turned out to be philodendron hylaea, I believe, or potentially a very strange form of tripartitum. But this one, which screams Holtianum, is just still really, really peculiar and weird, and still do not have a ID. Bill, sorry to leave again, now listening while driving. Aww, thanks Bill. Commitment. To be fair, I only plan on coming on for an hour to have a little chat with you guys anyway, and see what was crack-a-lacking. Maybe show you some cool plants and stuff, which I feel like I have done. And to kind of give you the little bit of an inside scoop as to what I'm working on right now that I'm getting my motivation back. I've been kind of teasing whilst I've been researching and stuff on Instagram. Yeah, so my theory is it's probably just a very peculiar variant of Holtianum, but there is also a very real chance that it is either a new subspecies of Holtianum, or potentially, because of the locale, Holtianum doesn't really tend to reach that far up north. But it could potentially be a new species, which is really, really, like, not going to commit to that because that's quite a bold statement. But it happens a lot. It just doesn't really tend to happen a lot with philodendron because they're so sought after and people tend to really want to know what they're getting. But it was really cheap and I thought it looked really cool, so either way I would have been happy if it was just like a Holtianum, which even then is still quite an expensive species to get a hold of here in Europe. Like, they're not common at all, and to have something so peculiar and strange is just, you know, I think it's kind of fun. The philodendron hylaea, or the hylaea, I can't remember how it's said. I've got 3 baby plants from it now, because it didn't really acclimate super well to my space. It definitely preferred terrarium settings, so I've taken a few cuttings that it's kind of acclimating now, but the babies are growing much faster under glass, under plastic, so I think I'm going to use them in gecko tanks, most likely, to keep them getting prettier. I'm glad my voice is soothing so many whilst they're doing activities. That's quite a compliment, actually. Like, to be able to be like, oh, well, listen to my calming, soothing voice whilst you go about your day. But I need to make some dinner soon because it is 9 p.m. here, and your boy has food downstairs that he desperately wants to munch on. So before I go, anyone have any questions? Moose, you know what's cooking. It's going to be a pasta dish. You know it's going to be pasta. Yes, so my darling, sweet, amazing Moose has started a Twitch streaming channel, and when he streams, I'm usually there to give some homosexual gutter commentary and to keep things really interesting. But he's doing some really cute things. He's got a really awesome, like, modded, like, screen, and if you could, I will Moose, link your Twitch thing here in the chat, please. What time is Nicole going live? I'll stick around for that. I'll have some food. Because I've missed a lot of lives over the past few weeks, mainly because I'm finally sleeping like a sort of normal time, kind of, maybe, not really. But it seems that everyone seems, because all the Americans seem to have their lives, for me it's like midnight, 1 a.m, 2 a.m. Yes, I what time? Does anyone have a time when Nicole's going live? Preferably UK, if possible. Because my phone and laptop are a little bit preoccupied with this lovely little live stream. No, it's not. It really isn't. Moose worked on some really beautiful, really beautiful, like, channel art and stuff. It's really cool. Oh no, what was I doing? Oh no, this whole time my chat was in top mode. I've missed so many messages. I can imagine if there's anything like the Grinder Circles attempt at a community, that was a fucking disaster. I popped in for the drag queen section and it was just on fire, essentially, but I was like, I'm just gonna leave. You stop it, Ray. You fucking stop it. You walk in, you say greetings and salutations, and you make your presence known, darling. Confidence. Keep that chin high. But, my darlings, I am going to love you and leave you. And remember, if there's one takeaway from this live, if you're going to do a collaboration, just don't do it with Tories, because hard pass. Mwah, my lovelies. Mwah. Oh, Adam, you cutie. But I will probably see you on Nicole's live, where I'll bludgeon her with multiple questions or end up shit posting shit, like I always do, because that is me. But thank you all for coming, and thank you all for supporting me. That's really lovely of you. And I will see you all very soon in a brand new series that may or may not be called Odd Botany.